Hello, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here. And we got some Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 10.33 and other mods. Full list, first episode. Okay, we're going to continue this. But before that, I know you've heard it all before, but please, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Tell a friend, an enemy, whoever about the channel. Share this. And like the video. Want to grow the channel, want to keep the numbers up for this series. Right, so let's continue here. We're coming down. I had to replay the last little bit. If you remember the crash at the end. So we're going to see how this goes. So things are slightly different, very slightly. We would give them, be sure you can have energy for money. I'm going to get my supplies back up and steel back up. Okay, airport capabilities have advanced. Very good. We're going to stop all of that, I think. Let's come over here. We're going to start looking at 1940s, but well, first let's get some these, and we have some disease. No, okay, I thought we'd gone through all of this. Okay, we not that, but this. Okay, well, oh well, I'm gonna have to reorganize all the Luftwaffe again. I'm gonna remove a bunch of brigades. Okay. Yeah, this is for Austria, just in case you didn't have it. So I'm not going to do that now. We've lost a lot of the Luftgau that were attached. We didn't lose them, they just, I mean, they're not attached anymore. Okay, all these Luft floats are new and need to be reorganized and attached, it looks like. Okay, I'll do that some other time. I've learned the more I open up, and particularly look at the generals list, you know, when you select a division and then click there. That seems to cause more problems. You give money for crude oil. Okay, no, decline. We actually canceled because I wanted to increase money here. Okay, so air organization. Site-wide is up 0.08%, not 8%, but 0.08%. So almost 1% organization effects because of better airbase setup. Oh, it does matter. Heavy bomber crew training advance, very nice. It will be here. Okay, let's do piloting. It's mostly the heavy transport, and I'm not saying I'm not doing any heavy bombers, but that isn't currently the plan to do any. But we very well may build some, but it's mostly affecting, and I was just do a little bit heavy transports. Okay, inspection tour of the West Wall. Interesting set of photos. In the Aachen, the Führer Adolf Hitler begins an inspection tour of the West Walls. Will continue for 5 days. So let's see, the white coat right there. That's the Führer, collection of at least mostly army officers. I don't know if that's an SS guy right back there, probably SS security. But there's, you can see like right there and right there are, maybe back there, I can't quite tell without, but look, there's at least 2, maybe 3 of those right in front. I'm not sure about that one. But the 3-axle big Mercedes, so this is the motorcade going with a truck. And here they set up out in the field somewhere. Lunch, presumably, as opposed to breakfast. That's an SS guy. You can tell he has an eagle on his shoulder. Somewhere in all of that. You know, probably with Hitler without a hat on. He's one of the, well, he doesn't have a hat on. You're supposed to wear your hat outside. You're not supposed to wear your hat inside. I don't know. But whatever. So he's doing an inspection tour, costs some supplies. Die Deutsches Polizei. This is the police magazine, the German police firm known as Der Deutsches Polizei. Amped, whatever. Sorry, Germans, I know I butcher your language. Heavily illustrated magazine and official periodical policeman. This just, again, I wanted to show, you know, for immersions, all of the publications and the way the police are. German society, and its effects still are heavily to this day, but German society under the National Socialist regime is really the first time it becomes nationalized, if you will. Dictionaries in different parts of Germany were different, both in spellings of words, word meaning, that kind of thing. And no, I'm not an expert on it to like comment how or what, but it was different. But administration systems, legal systems, all that kind of stuff is different in different areas of Germany, and not on a unified system. These are efforts to unify it. So we're getting a little bit of bonus to police things. Karl Hermann Frank, a real piece of work. Frank, as in bad guy, is promoted SS Gruppenführer and appointed Secretary of State, which is, I'm guessing, basically a sort of equivalent of, well, I don't know, because in the USA, Secretary of State is the equivalent of like a foreign minister, but I'm not sure. The Reichsprotectorate of Bohemia and Moravia under Protector Konstantin von Narath. So he's sort of like watching what's going on within there, and he's a major sort of, you know, SS guy. He does a lot of very bad things. Himmler also named him the Protector's higher SS and police leader, basically because the police have now come under the SS, so he is in charge of all the SS and all the police in the protectorship. So in chain of command, there's his day back as the deputy Führer of the SDP, and more recent time period of this, probably slightly later than this. A regatta, the International Motorboat Regatta, May 1939. Yeah, it should have fired. Well, it was about the right time. So off to the races. I guess they've changed the text because that was supposed to give you a little bit of like light. And yeah, them changing the text probably. I don't know. Yes, I should of course go in and fix things, but get so much just to give you a little light ship type research boost. Okay, Sturm Pioneer Battalion 43 formed them. Yes, we'll take that. The Iranian ambassador, chairman of the Iranian parliament, and the Iranian ambassador, and the Iranian ambassador to the German Reich, meeting with Adolf Hitler. These two guys meeting with Hitler. I presume he may be a translator. The Führer shares his anti-Christian and anti-Jewish views with his guests. They press the case that the Iranian people are true Aryans. Prove relationship. So Iran very much. You often look for big dominant allies that can help you, but won't, how shall I put this, accidentally swallow you up. Okay, let's, no, maybe I should just move it to the top, but now that I started this, I don't want to stop. Okay. And so having Germany as an ally, at least at this time period, it would seem Germany isn't likely to, shall we say, encroach on Iran, but very well might be a counterweight to British or French or Russian or well, Soviet Russian, however you want to call it, depends on your viewpoint with down here, encroachment upon you. Okay, St. Louis, the voyage of the Dam. The St. Louis set sail from Hamburg. This is important if you don't know the story, though if you played this and actually read this, you probably already do. Set sail from Hamburg to Cuba on May 13, 1939. The vessel, under command of Captain Gustav Schroeder, was carrying 937 refugees seeking asylum from Nazi prosecution. Upon the ship's arrival in Cuba, the Cuban government, headed by Federico Laredo Bru, refused to accept foreign refugees. Although passengers had previously purchased legal visas, they could not enter Cuba either as tourists. Laws relating to tourist visas had recently been changed, or as refugees seeking asylum, prohibited from landing in Cuba, which I understand that there was significant German pressure on Cuba to not do that. Remember the earlier Schleswig-Holstein old ancient battleship cruise through the Caribbean. Yeah, I wonder how that may figure into German foreign policy. Landing in Cuba, Captain Schroeder took the ship and its passengers to Florida. It is not known why Schroeder did not proceed to the Dominican Republic, whose officials at the Leaving Conference in July 1938 offered to accept 100,000 Jews. Some of the histories recount that on the 4th of June 1939, Schroeder believed he was being prevented from trying to land St. Louis on the Florida shore. Schroeder has said he circled off the coast of Florida after leaving Cuba, hoping for permission to enter the United States. At one point, he considered running aground along the coast to allow the refugees to escape. He was shadowed by U.S. Coast Guard vessels that prevented such a move. The U.S. Coast Guard historians maintained that 2 cutters involved were not ordered to turn away, but dispatched out of concern for those aboard. Ultimately, the United States did not provide refugees. And good, they see sense from the German point of view, improve our relations there. And most did not end up surviving the war. I'm upgrading the cavalry from the leftover Austrian troops to light armor, as you see there. Make them a little more useful. Okay, Den Ensterich Herrs Ausgabe für Kanonier. Okay, like my butchery. Manuals published on artillery, so that helped a little bit with artillery gain and such. Okay, aero engine research. Very good. So that's grayed out. Okay, we want to move it over here to medium fuel tank research. Oh, we can invite Japan to the faction. Do we want to invite Japan to the faction? They are in apparently not a very good position here. They have, I guess they've taken Beijing, Peking, but they're not. I guess they've, pushing a little bit into there. Not doing well for 38. Yeah, this doesn't have a good, believable China preference. Now, okay. How do I put this? Well, we'll continue, but yeah, we'll come to Japan and do this. This is obviously much earlier than historically. Should you be allowed to do this? Maybe it should be a little harder, but they've accepted in. What some talk, you know, when should Romania or when should Hungary get into the Axis or into the German factor within this game? I'm not displeased with this time period compared to the more historical considered date because Germany was helping them grab up parts of various countries already. Germany definitely has already withdrawn its major mission by this point. Its major mission to China, and has become clearly in that move, and because of that move, clearly moving in a pro Japanese fashion. So yeah, I could argue that it could be, but it's early. It's real early. Yeah, probably shouldn't be this early, but with a game like this, because you know, and the way I think a game like this should be, is that it should be played, or you know, should reflect the facts on the ground. Meaning that if okay, trying to think a good way to illustrate it. Okay, Slovakia, they've gotten their independence because and they wanted their independence because of Germany used them. They're getting independence to take over the rest of Czechoslovakia. Well, okay, Hungary wants and does get the sort of border regions that have Hungarians in them. Probably, I'm not going to say all this, but probably the border was to some degree slightly adjusted in favor of the Czechoslovakians to punish Hungary as part of the end of World War I. So where should the border be? That's a big topic. I believe in relatively practical, defensible situations. Not, oh well, in here there's a major town, city area that's Hungarian population, majority, extreme majority, and there's 30,000 of them. We should carve out a little pocket of Hungary up here. No. Country should not be, the Holy Roman Empire's principality system or something like that. That is not a viable thing. So mountain ranges, rivers, other sorts of geographical features need to be taken into place. And either people need to, if they want to live in if they're Hungarian and they want to, this is, again, I want to say this just because we're in the age that we're living in. I am not concerned about race here. I'm talking about culture. I don't know if there's racial differences of any significant note between Slovaks and Magyars. I'm talking about culture, language, all kinds of things. So if the Hungarian community wants to live in a Hungarian majority country, they can move to it if the country allows them in. They probably should if they consider them their people. Or if they don't want to, they want to stay living where they're fine, except that you're living and that you're living within a nation as a minority ethnic group. And again, ethnic is in culture. You're living there as a minority group. Accept that and either continue the daily struggle to maintain your culture, or you'll maybe eventually be absorbed into the majority culture. That's just the way things go. You need to sort of pick that kind of thing. Okay, Cavalry und Panzertruppenschule, Armored Troop School, is one of the two major schools. German Panzerwaffe and World War II officer. It was based in Windsor Branch School. Okay, having successfully taken an 8-course week. Now, I just saw a video from Military History Visualized. And that the guy from the Panzer Museum in Munster said that, because I see Cavalry und Panzertruppenschule, yes, we want to do this. Lost 500 in money. I don't like that part of it, but the Germans did not take the panzers to be a follow-on of the cavalry, like they were in other nations. Is it my place to argue with him? I don't know. I guess I was mainly around the black uniform that they wear. And does it have connections to some Prussian units, cavalry units? I don't know that they have their connections to them, but I thought they were the more Black Brunswickers. Now, there were definitely cavalry units in the Brunswick Corps, but their version of their skull, which is different than the SS skull, does harken to the skull used by the Black Brunswickers, which converted to black after the death of their prince or whatever, and sort of in mourning and during the Napoleonic Wars, and had the skulls. And there were definitely cavalry units as part of the corps, but mostly infantry. So yeah, I thought it was more black in association with that format. Okay, para and airborne HQs have advanced. Okay, cool. That's under command. Right, well, let's do armored next. And study has finished. Okay, forming 2 plausible HQs, very nice. So yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't argue overly much with an authority like that. Okay. The Free Willen Schutzstaffel basically means volunteer Schutzstaffel, but they abbreviate it as FS, was formed as equivalent of the SS within the FS. A paramilitary formation was formed in the copy of the Verfolg und Struppen, the forerunner of the Waffen SS, and the Ersatztruppen. Okay, so we get this. He's in charge of it. I'm going to move it just a lot out of here. Seems like if I leave it here in the capital, it's forever without supplies. So you get a little SS security group to make sure the well, maybe it's going to be without supplies wherever it goes. I don't know. Maybe just because it was moved there too fast. Make sure the Slovaks behave. Okay, light bomber prototypes have advanced. And we will move down to flying boat prototypes. Okay, Heereswaffenamt MKB. So, the Heereswaffen issued a contract for the development of a machine carbine or machine carbine chambered in the new 7.62 by 33 Kurz cartridge to the company of CG Henel Waffen und Fahrradfabrik. Initial development took the placeholder of MKB. Okay, so that is the bullet of the standard Mauser rifle, the MG34, later MG42. You know, that's the standard basic, and you know, and the Gewehr, Car 98. Did I say that correctly? And the Gewehr, you know, the standard German rifle caliber, standard German machine gun caliber. Okay. This is the bullet of the Sturmgewehr, as we come to know it later on. This already existed at this time in 1939. The cartridge did. So the cartridge is the same, the bullet, I should say, is the same diameter as the standard bullet, though it is shorter. It does, of course, go in, both of these do go into the case. And the outside of the case here is the same diameter as the standard, but it is just Kurtz or shortened. So this is already in existence. There's the picture of the Waffenamt. Here's Waffenamt, the building. We also do other things in there too, but that's where it was located. So they're in 1939. They're already looking for a Sturmgewehr already then. So this is just sort of the start of it. So we can support it, or put more support, or let it hang. We'll do that, because what that is doing here, I think it's under infantry tax, where it's changed. Well, it's still in existence because it gave it there, otherwise it'd be blank, I believe. I thought oh, assault rifles right there. It's that tech. So we're putting a little bit more effort, or maybe the sort of historical effort, in developing weapons. So this was already being done prior to. We need to increase probably a little bit more okay, we want to lock that down. Espionage is doing okay, so let's transfer a bit more to leadership, or for officer, a bit more of the leadership to officers. So they're really far-reaching with their desire for having an assault rifle. To the best of my knowledge, the Soviets are not looking in that direction at all. They're still looking in their submachine guns, airlock torpedoes. I think these under. Yes, okay, grayed out. We'll move naval bomber tech. Submachine guns and bolt-action rifles, and they're definitely also moving in the direction of the SVT. I think they actually are in production with that. That's right. I'm thinking about it. So they're doing that, and we just had a goddamn fucking crash. Well, I don't know if this is worth putting up. But you can see my desktop there. Cool car, isn't it? So thank you so much. See you next time for more. Yes, more Hearts of Iron, hopefully without crashes. God, I wish I knew what was causing this. Fix it.